Out here just waiting on marshals. And that should be slash A main, guys. Yep. So it's going to be Arlen, Bob, Tyler, Charles, Robert, David, Chris. Get two of you guys to marshal, please, for me. All right, thank you. Get one more. All right. Drivers ready and marshals ready. Go ahead and roll them off. Racing in turn 4. Go, go, go. Off and underway. Race number 1. Your A main of Bandit, James and Mike. Starting us up front. 7-3 for James first lap. 7-6 for Mike. That time by James is 7-0. Mike also is 7-0. Just a little bit faster than James's. And Mike that time by resetting it again. 6-8-4. Mike looking to the inside, but oh, and James now with a mistake, getting caught up on the pipe. Got Mike now up front. That blue and silver down the front straightaway he goes. That time by another good 6-8 for him that time by, but James also matching it with a 6-8-9. New hot lap for him. But Mike's still holding on to the hot lap of the race. 6-8-4. And another good win there from Mike. Resetting hot lap again is 6-7-1. 10 laps down. 40 left to go. 6-8-3 that time by for James. $15 down, 35 left to go. 15 laps down, 35 to go. That time by James with his personal best lap, 6.82, going to close in the gap to 3.8 seconds between Mike and James. And making up some more time now, down to 3.6. It's like Mike making a small mistake. We'll see where the gap is this time by. Oh, man. James going to gain a whole second and 0.2 there. Gap down to 2.4. And James with another good lap, 6.78 that time by his personal best. $25 down, 25 to go, halfway in. 15 laps left to go. 15 to go. Now the gap between first and second place is going to be 3.2 seconds. So Mike has stretched out his lead some more. And James with a mistake, so he's going to be right on him to try to put a lap on him. There they come down the back straightaway. Five laps left to go. We got Mike Kraft Jr. still out front. 6.5 over James. Right behind second place on the track. Three left to go. Oh, trouble for James. Mike going to put him a lap down. No, not quite, actually. White flag. Mike coming out of turn 4 there. It's going to be checkered flag. James still got to finish his lap. Here he comes. And that's a race.
All drivers are finished. James Chestnut done.
So Mike Kraft Jr. going to take that one. James Chestnut in the 2 spot. Race 2, 13.5 sprint. Start getting out here and checked in.
Tom Stivers.
It's going to be Brian, Neil, Chris, Tom, Michael, and Aaron. So we'll get those guys out here and checked in. We'll get 2 from the last one back out.
Brian Erb. Aaron Kennedy. Neil Houghton. Chris Hall. Michael L.
Watch it back, watch the back, go high on the back straightaway.
One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, let's go ahead and line them up. This could be Brian, Neil, Chris, Tom, Michael, and Aaron. Again, that's Brian, Neil, Chris, Tom, Michael, and Aaron.
"15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right. Get the grid set here. All right. Drivers ready? Marshall's ready? Go ahead and roll them off. Oh, all right. Sorry, didn't see you. All right. Go, go, go. Off and underway. Race 2, 13.5 sprint. Brian Erb leading the pack. Oh, watch turn 2. Watch 2. Bunch of guys getting together there. Going to put Neil up front now. Brian to the 2. Brian's got fast laps so far with his 6.24. And Neil with his best that time by is 6.36. Leader down the front straightaway, the white with the green wheels. Try to give that guy some room. Watch turn 2 there. Oh, watch it on the back, low on the back straightaway. Leader gets caught. That's going to put Brian up to the top spot. Tom to the 2, Chris to the 3, Neil down to the 4, Michael 5, and Aaron 6. Watch turn 2, high. That's clear. Now Chris and Tom battle for second place right there together, 7/10 apart. Chris in that white and red, Tom in the green and red. And then they got the leader behind him, and then Neil's right there in the 4 spot. Michael going to be a little further back in the 5. And Aaron was out after lap 2. Oh, some trouble on the back straightaway there. Going end over end there for Tom. And now Neil's right there in that battle for second place. Chris, Tom, and Neil all right there together. Battle for second. That blue flag waving for Brian. He's got by. That's what the tarp is. We'll just say that. Oh, a little trouble for Brian. It's going to take more than that for them to catch up, though. He's got a big gap, 7.8 seconds over Neil. Now Neil with 4 seconds over Tom, 4 seconds to Chris, and 10 seconds to Michael. So everyone's starting to get a little bit more spread out again. Had a tight battle there going on, but they're all finding their own place. 25 down, 25 left to go, halfway in. Still got Brian out front. The silver and black number 5. Yellow wheels coming down the back straightaway. Got 7.5 over Neil. Neil 7.8 over Tom. Tom 2.3 over Chris. And Chris 9.1 over Michael. A couple getting together there. Turn 2. That is clear. $15 laps to go. 15 laps left. 35 in, 15 to go. Race 3 street stock, you guys will be up next. Be ready. And now that battle for third place starting to square up. Tom and Chris, 2 seconds apart. Going to be your closest 2 cars out there right now. Three laps left to go. 3 laps to go. White flag, Brian on his last lap here. Coming out of turn 4, there's checkered flag.
Brian Erb done.
You'll be done next time you
Chris Hall
cross.
done. Neil Houghton done.
Neil Dunn in the 2, Tom
Michael
Dunn in the
Bell done.
3.
All drivers
All
are
right, that's a
finished.
race.
Tom Stivers done.
Brian taking the 1, Neil 2, Tom 3, Chris 4, Michael 5, Aaron out early in the 6th spot. Race 3, street stock start heading out. This one's Brandon Robert, Mike Kraft Jr., Scott Simon, David Johnson, Charles Jones, James Chestnut, and Arlen Simon start getting checked in to get drivers from the last one back out.
Brandon Shrout. Charles Jones. Arlen Simon. David Johnson. Scott Simon. Robert Summers. Mike Kraft Jr. James Chestnut. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
Okay, it's going to be Brandon Stroud, Robert Summers, Mike Kraft Jr., Scott Simon, David Johnson,
15
Charles
seconds
Jones,
to the start of
James
the race.
Chestnut, and Arlen Simon. All right, drivers ready, marshals ready. Go ahead and roll it off, racing in turn 4. Go, go, go. Off and rolling here, street stock. And just like that, it's going to be Robert up front, Mike Kraft Jr. in that number 2 spot. Scott getting around Brandon for the 3. Oh, he gets a little sketchy coming out of 2 there. And it looks like he waits up for him. So we'll see where that puts everybody. Yeah, so still got Robert up front, that white and blue. 7-0 that time by his hot lap of the race so far. Robert starting in that 2 spot, getting up front. Got Mike in the 2, James from the 7 moving up to the 3 spot. Brandon in the 4, Scott 5, David 6, Arlen 7, and Charles in the 8. And James now making a pass for the number 2. So a good move up there for James coming from 7th. Getting chased down by Scott right now. That battle for 2nd place coming down the back straightaway. Both of them running 7-0 lap times that time by. Oh, but Scott looking to the inside, and he makes it happen for 2nd place. But Robert still up front, 2.7 gap over Scott. 0.5 to James, 0.7 to Brandon, 1.4 to Mike, 2 seconds to Arlen, 2.7 to David, and 12 seconds to Charles. A little bit of bumping going on there. Watch high out of 4, high out of 4. That's clear. No, not really at all. 15 down, 35 left to go.
Make that smaller.
Oh, watch turn 4. That's clear.
You got that. It means it's showing live and showing qualifying, and it's not showing the lifetime banner at the top.
Still got Robert up front now, 2.4 over Scott. 1.7 back to Mike Kraft Jr. in the 3. 1.6 to Brandon in the 4. A little bit more, 9 seconds back to James. 2.3 to David. 6.7 to Arlen. And 12 back to Charles. Oh, trouble for Mike. Mike Jr. does have hot lap of the race, a 6.82. Just having a little bit of trouble there. Oh, runs another one, another 6.82 there that time by. But just had a couple of wrecks putting him out of contention for the win there. Your leader coming down the front straightaway now, that white and blue. Got crossing the line at 3.5 back. Brandon and Mike having a good battle for third place. Here they come down, crossing the line here. 5/10 that time by. Oh, Arlen goes for a tumble there. Back on all fours. Watch turn 2, high out of 2. Low now, low now. That's clear. Still got Robert leading the race coming down the front. Getting around Brandon for a lap there. Watch 3 and 4. That's all clear. Ten laps to go. Scott closing in some that time by. But Robert is kind of working in some traffic right now, so that could be part of it. Leader down to the front straightaway, that white and blue, try to give him some room. Five to go, 5 laps to go. Robert, Scott, Brandon, Mike, James, David, Arlen, and Charles. Race 4, open sprint. You'll be up next to be ready to go. And Robert on his last lap here. Oh, he has some trouble. Scott almost got around there.
Robert Summers done.
But got caught up in the carnage, so
done.
Robert will take it.
Scott Simon done.
Exciting last lap there.
Brandon
Scott finishing
Trout
in the
done.
2, Brandon 3.
David Johnson done. Mike Kraft Jr. done.
That
Charles Jones done.
is a race.
All
Robert
drivers
taking
are
it.
Finished. Arlen Simon done.
So that was Robert, Scott, Brandon, Mike, James, David, Arlen, and Charles finishing order. Race 4, open sprint. Start to get him checked.
Chris Hall.
We Brian, Michael,
Brian
Neil,
Burke.
and Chris. 2 sprints and 2 late models. Get 2 from that last one. Back out to Marshall, please.
Neil Houghton. Michael L. One minute to the start of the race. "45 seconds to the start of the race. 30 seconds to the start of the race.
Back to
15 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, so lineup order is Brian, Michael, Neil, and Chris. We got marshals out there. All right, roll them off. Racing in turn 4. Go, go, go. Off and rolling here, race number 4, sprint and late model combined. Oh, Michael looping it coming into 1 there. Brian up front with a 6-2 that time by. Hot lap of the race so far. And Neil with a mistake, so Chris going to get around. Down the front straight they go. Battle for the late model win. And Michael with some more trouble. Brian going to get around for 1 lap over him. 10 laps down, 40 left to go. $15 down, 35 left to go. Got Brian up front for the sprint class. Getting around the late model guys. They're having a good battle. But Chris and Neil getting together now. Chris up front. Neil in that 2 spot for late model. They'd be running 2nd and 3rd if we combine it all together. Oh, a couple of them getting together. They get back and rolling now. Neil going to be 2 seconds off Chris. $25 laps down, 25 left to go. It's Brian, Chris, Neil, and Michael. Watch it on the back, watch it. Chris and Neil, that battle for the late model win is shaping up there 1 second apart. Last time by. Down the front straightaway they go. 6-1 for Brian last time by was hot lap of the race. 6-1-8 to be more exact there. Michael also in the sprint class ran a 6.42. For late model, Chris ran a 6.47. Neil with the faster lap, but right now running in second with a 6.22. Does look like he's catching on to Chris a little bit, though. 6.17 for Brian that time by. New hot lap. Five laps to go. It's still Brian with 11 seconds over Chris, 5 seconds over Neil, and 17 over Michael. So everyone's starting to get a little bit more spread out with 3 laps to go. Brian rolling over some marbles there, sent him a little loose coming on the back straightaway. Brian on to the last lap, though. He just got to get across the finish line. Checkered flag.
Brian Erb done. Michael L. done.
Done as you
Neil Holden
cross.
done. All drivers are finished. Chris Hall done.
Brian going to take that one. Chris in the, well, I guess you can say Brian 1, Michael 2 for sprint, and then Chris 1 late model, Neil in the 2. Race number 5 slash our last and biggest race of the night. Got Mike Kraft Jr., James Chestnut, Arlen Simon, Bob Portwood, Tyler Baker, Charles Jones, Robert Summers, David Johnson, and Chris Chestnut. We'll get a couple from that
James
last one
Chestnut.
back out to corner marshal here.
Robert Summers. Tyler Baker. Mike Kraft Jr. Arlen Simon. Charles Jones. Bob Portwood. One minute to the start of the race. Chris Chestnut. David Johnson. "45 seconds to the start of the race. "30 seconds to the start of the race.
All right, we got marshals on the way out, so let's line them up. Mike Kraft Jr., James Chestnut, Arlen Simon, Bob Portwood, Tyler Baker, Charles Jones, Robert
15
Summers,
seconds
David
to the
Johnson,
start of
and
the
Chris
race.
Chestnut. All right, looks like grid is set. Drivers ready, marshals ready. Roll them off. Go, go, go. And a good start there, so we are going racing here, race number 5. Oh, a little bit of trouble there coming out of turn 2. Robert and that might have been Bob getting together there. Got Mike Kraft Jr. up front. James Chestnut in the number 2 spot. The all orange right there, close to him still. Arlen in the 3, Tyler 4, Charles 5, David 6, Robert 7, Chris 8, and Bob 9. Watch turn 4, low, low, low. Watch turn 2. Probably go high. Third place getting caught up there. That was Arlen. He's going to drop down a few spots. Actually, just one spot down to the 4. But he's got Robert right behind him. Battle for third place coming down the front straight. Or, yeah, that's battle for 4th, I mean. Oh, and Robert looking to the inside. He gets around him there. That white and black red wheel's going to be your leader coming down the front straightaway. James Chestnut catching onto him, only 7/10 back. Down the front straightaway they go. Oh, Arlen two-wheeling it, but saves it. Low and 4, low and 4. That's clear. Mike, now Tyler to the 2. James in the 3. Oh, they're battling around. But Tyler Baker going to be one of your bigger movers coming from the 5 up to the 2. Robert also a good move up from the 7 to the 3. Bob staying in that 4 where he qualified. Charles in the 5. James in the 6. Arlen, Chris, and David. Leader coming down the back straightaway. That's the yellow and black. He's got 4.4 seconds clear of Tyler Baker. 25 down, 25 to go, halfway in. 6.59 for Mike Kraft Jr. that time by. Going to be new fast lap of the race. Next best lap would be a 6.7 from James Chestnut. But not getting any laps from him, so he is out of this one. Your closest battle will be for third place between Robert and Bob. Trouble in turn 3 and 4. That is all clear. And Mike coming up on Tyler, second place driver to lap him, so he doesn't necessarily need to get around him, but that's just where he's at right now. Got 15 more to go. Mike, Tyler, Robert, Bob, Arlen, Charles, Chris, David, and James. Watch it on the back, on the back, on the back. That's clear. Low out of 2, low out of 2. Clear. Three more laps to go. 3 laps left to go. Tyler and Robert, that battle for the second is closing up. Only 6/10 between those two. Oh, and Tyler gets wrecked. Robert going to go by. Tyler Baker back to the 3 now. Bob will be 2.6 out in the 4 spot.
Mike Kraft
But
Jr.
Mike
done.
going to take that
Chris
one.
Chestnut done.
You'll be done when he
Tyler
cross.
Baker done. Arlen Simon done. Robert Summers done. Bob Portwood done. All drivers are finished. David Johnson done.
So Mike Kraft Jr. going to take the win in that one. Robert Summers 2 on the couple of the last laps there. Tyler Baker in the 3. Bob Portwood 4. Arlen Simon 5. David Johnson 6. Chris Chestnut 7. Charles and James not going to make the finish there, finishing 8 and 9. So that's all we got for racing tonight. If you got a